EG managed to force a map 5 after taking Pearl and completely quelling the fire of that Phoenix composition from PRX. And now we are going to a pivotal game on Ascent. Holy moly, that is exactly what you want to see here in this incredible arena for this awesome matchup. But Hypoc, as we dive into this game in particular, it just became very evident that the game plan just seemed to like really thin out for PRX, and EG had all the answers at the end there.
Yeah, and I think the big win condition obviously is built around this Phoenix. Unfortunately, EG were so controlling, and time again they were given advantage in rounds, whether it is conceding the first blood, conceding some space, or a lot of utility being burnt up, almost amounting to nothing.
Yeah, which is just absolutely staggering to see how PRX unfortunately crumbled, you know, in that moment, Mimi. But that being said, got to give the credit to EG for being able to hold them back the way that they did.
Yeah, their second half game plan worked so well in this one. I think for EG, ever since they lost that 13-0 to Loud on this map, they have actually become such a strong Pearl team. I think their execution with this Harbor Viper has been on point, and especially I think similar to a lot of the other maps, the way that they combine utility in these late rounds when that initial plan doesn't work out is really good, and that stuff is so important against a team like PRX.
I mean, that's what you need to do. If you have a map that is that big of a weakness, you either buckle down, you figure it out, you just grind that map until you have it to a winnable position, or you just permaban it. But they opted to go for the former, and it has looked very good. I mean, only getting one round on the defending side here from PRX, that is catastrophic.
And they've gone back to things that were working for them before. It was those pistol rounds and bonus rounds that made their run throughout Masters Tokyo thus far, getting those early advantages and continuing to convert through with that momentum. Ever since we saw them play Fnatic, they weren't able to achieve quite the same thing against some of these top teams. But in this series, the second half, when the pistol convert that bonus, and they just rolled their way through to a quite dominant map victory.
I think as well, when you see those kind of stats pay off again for EG, like you said, winning bonuses and whatnot, it's visible in the rounds. Their willingness to take engagements and really dig their heels in, commit to fighting, it's fantastic to watch.
Yeah, and then of course, you know, we have to talk about Boostio and CGRS because, I mean, Boostio's been having one heck of a game, Seth.
He has, but for CGRS, it was very rough around the edges. I wanted to see more impact from him on that KJ on the defending side, but he just didn't quite find his footing like he did when he was playing against NRG.
And those guys are going to be very important now heading towards the end of the series, towards map number 5. Boostio in particular, as that IGL, he's been stepping up in such a big way for his team throughout this series. Not just in the calls, but as an individual as well, he's been fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, putting up insane numbers as well. This guy right now, I think he has 20 multi-kills across the series. He's getting a multi-kill every 4 rounds, which is absolutely
and he's playing
mind-blowing.
Killjoy.
Yeah, he's playing Killjoy, he's playing Astor on the previous.
He's offing.
Time and time again, not just the late round anchor, but the first point of contact for EG in terms of absorbing some of these PRX executes.
Well, you know, I'm actually really glad that you mentioned Boostio because that leads us straight to our HyperX reflex moment. And of course, we're going to give it to Boostio for this 3K that he managed to pull off here. I mean, just again, just so that we can take a moment to appreciate just the event that this young man is having. He is truly defining himself, not just as a great in-game leader, but a fantastic player as well, Achilleos.
And this just goes to show, I mean, he's able to capitalize on this kind of ham-fisted style that PRX likes to play so very often. They're just rushing out onto the site. And this time, though, the timings are a bit off. You have a double swing coming through from Jinx, and like, before that flash has come through, the guiding light, you see it just kind of drifting by, but it's already too late. 2 players are dead on the ground. And that is something that absolutely needs to get cleaned up, because going into map 5, this is where I start becoming absolutely terrified for PRX.
Are you a doomer now?
We have not seen this from them since the Grand Finals versus DRX. That's when something's in the roster. And compared to the lineup that they used back then, I have no idea what they have prepared for today.
I think as well, just coming back to a discussion that was kind of happening at the start of the day, in terms of map veto, a lot of the concerns lied with EG, right? Where things were, you know, kind of rinse and repeat in terms of performance we've seen across Fracture and kind of having that comfort pick there. Actually, now we come into the last map of this series, and it's a big question mark for PRX. I have no idea what we're going to see here.
This was the map that really impressed people, kind of, I think, sold people again that in 2023, PRX could be a top team. Playing in Pacific, they had such cool ideas. They're playing a harbor composition where they're running a Reyna and a Sky, and they have all these weird little combinations with a Reyna Lear and then a Sky Flash. Yeah, but it worked so well, and they actually had real little combos with this composition, and while it was weird, it worked so well for them. And now the question is, with CGRS, with this substitute, in map 5 eve of a lower final. Will they be able to continue this run? Will they have something new cooked up? Because that is a hard comp to replicate with a new player.
Yeah, I just really am not sure what they want to do here. Is it going to be Forsaken just going, you know, back over to the Jet? Does he himself want to bring out the Reyna and then have CGRS then fill in on something like the Harbor? There's so many questions surrounding this one. I just don't know what they're going to piece together, but I'm so damn curious to see it once we do get into that Prime Gaming Agent select.
And on the other side, for EG, they have rallied back in this series. We thought after Lotus, it could be trouble for this squad, but winning Pearl dominantly, now they had to Ascent. This has been one of their best maps in history. They took down Loud on this one in America. Some of their biggest upsets have come off of wins here on
They did
Ascent.
that here too, pretty
Yeah,
sure.
it's where they're comfortable.
Oh, man. That kind of leaves a question mark, right? It's like, well, obviously, what happens here with PaperX? What are they cooking? What's Alex got cooking in the fryer right now? Because I'm genuinely worried here.
I mean, the last time we were concerned about this was before they showed Pearl versus NRG. We hadn't seen that map from them. We said,
True.
okay, without something, does Forsaken just go back to playing Jet? They did, and CGRS showed that he could play a very adequate, if not very surprisingly strong Killjoy. So I'm curious if they just do that same thing where it's keep the same composition and just slot people into different roles, or if they have to completely retool and rehaul this thing.
I think that's been key as well, and something we mentioned earlier on was CGRS actually demonstrating he has the flexibility to stray
range.
away from the get-go, play a different agent, and pick up a different role entirely for PaperX. Concern being, I feel like we enter here, final map, and Demon 1 is just going to be completely unleashed.
Oh.
This is where he made a name for
Absolutely.
himself. Remember the history of this guy. He was the guy who replaced BCJ. Everyone was mad about the roster move, doubting EG, thinking they would stay a bottom team in Americas. He comes into the roster. They rally. They just barely make it to playoffs. They qualify to Tokyo by upsetting Cloud9, by beating Loud, the teams that everyone thought would be able to come here and be favorites. And now they've made it here. They've made this run happen all the way to almost beating Fnatic and now being in the lower finals. That's been the path for Demon 1, a guy who months ago was an unknown name in Tier 2.
The path that these two teams have taken, although they are similar yet different at the same time, it really has just been about them persevering through whatever adversity has been thrown their way. And they have time and time again risen to the occasion, and now basically they all have their fate in their hands, right? For EG, it started off with them, as you had mentioned before, not having that control of their destiny. This is their control of their destiny here. And it's the same thing with PaperX. You think, oh, something's not going to be here. It's, you know what, we'll try, we'll give it our best. But you're here at this moment, and you're about to make history. That weighs a lot on these 10 players here as we get ready for this one, Achilleos. And of course, do want to let everyone know there was a tech pause on the stage. We're just going to make sure we get that resolved, and then once that's good to go, of course, because this match deserves nothing less, we will jump right into the action. But for the time being here, we'll continue to talk about what to expect as we go into Ascent. And we do have the Prime Gaming Agent Select to give us some tools here. And
Okay.
wow.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Okay, so it's a massive. This is a big jump back into the past for the side of PaperX. This was their composition before they started working in the Reyna and the Harbor. This is what they were running back in the day. It does look bizarre, but they are still widely very comfortable playing this, but obviously a very different look. You have Jing playing a non-duels for the first time in the series.
The biggest things I'm looking at here is, first of all, that Sage. On their attacking side, expect a lot of splits, popping down that Sage wall somewhere. And on the defense, flood retakes, allowing that wall to give you a gap to get back into sights. And on top of that, I'm looking at the difference in initiators here. CGRS pulling out that fade, and another fairly comfortable role for him.
Yeah, I think as well, this is interesting, particularly for EG's attacking half, actually, obviously, to get through to that. But obviously, this, I feel, is EG's most proactive defense. This is one they're happiest to play aggressive.
Let's see how this all plays out. One last map to decide which team faces off against Fnatic in the grand finals tomorrow. Who's going to take the series? I send it back over to Brendan Sideshow to find out.
It's all going to get decided here, isn't it? Map 5, the heat is turned up. Wardrobe etiquette out the window, Josh. My jacket's off, man. I want to get into this ASAP because EG versus PaperX. And again, bit of flashbacks, honestly, as well with the chops and changes, the compositions pushed all the way into Map 5. Yeah. Where have we seen this one before? PaperX, Copenhagen Grand Finals.
Where they pulled out a Breach Yoru Fade Neon comp in order to play on Breeze of all maps. Now, this isn't as ludicrous as the comp that we might have been expecting if something was here. It doesn't have the Harbor, the Neon. It's actually, as Achilles was saying, the previous comp that they've played. So I'm going to be taking a look at CGRS on the fade and Jing. Jing has got to step up to get PRX over the line here in my eyes. He's got an exactly 1 KD in the series so far when he's got the ability to do so much more.
We saw what he was capable of. Map number 1, Fracture. Absolutely popping off at numerous moments here, but this has been slowed down. The entirety of the arena holding bated breath, waiting for the first opening, waiting for the time to strike. Wine control for Mindfreak. Tucked himself in there at some point, didn't he?
And they just contact on. Immediately punish.
Loses his nerve.
That's exactly what EG were looking for, this slow-paced approach, trying to punish people, pushing. The CGRS just goes for the info swing.
Okay. Meeting their match there, so 4 for 4. 4 versus 4, I should say.
They bait out the wall. A pivot, but I think PRX are going to be able to reinforce the B site.
How much more can EG really slow this one down? Haunt waited out, didn't tag onto anybody, no sound cues, but this has to really end B. No other options. Switch up and pivot if this one goes wrong. Towards the back of the site, all eyes on CGRS. Through the smoke, Forsaken's there, Dash is active and brought down anyway, shut down. And towards the back, they know that CGRS is there. Good util, it's clearing them out, near-sighted. Really needs to get a kill here, maybe more, why not? Absolutely fluid with it! He's on for the ace, and he's only gone and done it! A Bristol round win, all off the back of this guy, a plucky upstart, a content creator, but a round winner nevertheless.
What a monstrous round from CGRS! Was he tapped into what Achilles was saying?
I have no idea.
I mean, Achilles is like, I want to see more from CGRS. Look at what he's done there.
Tapped into something illegal with plays like this. I mean,
what?
That is disgusting. We said he needs to be the difference maker, anchoring towards the back. The slight smile on Alex's face. He knows he's gotten away with murder.
I mean, that just tells it all, doesn't it? EG trying to control the chaos, and it comes from the most unexpected of origins. Where had that come from? That aim looked so snappy.
Big game player, apparently.
Demon 1 is going to try to get as many ult orbs as possible here. A Blade Storm in this round could be exactly what the Doctor ordered. But otherwise, I mean, the Fade ult's going to be online soon.
Not sure if it'll make too much of a difference.
Can CGRS keep something like that up?
Close to the corner, Jing. He might get caught with util out in his hands. I think he wants to use the wall around the minute mark. No, still opting for the guns. Fighting right to them. Hands it over to Boostio. Returns with fire. Not able to pick up the upgrade. Still waiting there. Dash to the side. Cuts it up with the dart. That is a beautiful little play in a microcosm. Exactly what EG are good at. Re-clearance now. PRX feeling like they have to, again, put a stop to Boostio, who's potentially looking up onto this one, but with 35 seconds left, what direction are they going in?
30 seconds left.
Straight down into mid, straight into the sight line of Forsaken, but he doesn't do enough damage to them. It's all over the place, man. Scrappy at its core.
But Demon 1 and Boostio are so weak here. Surely they can't make anything of this.
Let's try and get through all of this util. Wait out the nade. Guns picked up, playing together here, but close, deep angle. CGRS brought down, but only gets the one, and now finally dealing with Boostio. Right at the beginning of the round, making it that much more dangerous, just by him on his lonesome.
That was close. And Demon 1 has built up the Blade Storm. If he wanted to go for an attack operator, which we've seen EG use in their games against Loud before, then this might be a round to generate that level of advantage with your economy. But it looks like they're just going to rifle. I feel like I'm going to be so interested to see if EG have prepped for this comp. It is something that PRX have been running recently. They only had one game playing the Harbor Arena. So if you looked at most of their VODs, it would be of this.
Low orb used early there. Top of the box, Forsaken. Wanted to take that angle, but just opts into breaking the turret instead.
Boostio, across the 4 maps being played, has taken 30 first duels, by the way.
Yeah, okay. What, playing mainly Killjoy?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I mean, the desk was touching on it, but it's just
16 and 14.
It's insane the value he's getting.
Here.
While in that role, stepping up to the task here, but...
What?
Okay, that's a bit of a misplay. What is it?
What?
Is this intended?
I've no idea.
Forsaken's like tucked close to the corner.
It looks like Forsaken's been trapped in a little prison.
Yep. The cryo chamber is the high-low. You expect there just to be one? There's not. There's two of them popping right out. There's a kill advantage.
What a play. And it allows Forsaken still to escape. What a gorgeous wall that Jing's cooked up there.
It's a pivot and a scramble here for EG. Gonna try and bring down Mindfreak. TP across, still across, and now a fight into mid on top of it. Smoke at their feet, spamming right through it. Caught in the seas, connection near-sighted. Nobody can see a bloody thing. Where is the salvage? Where is the answer back? Swinging through the smokes. There's no time at all. Only 11 seconds remaining. They've got to get themselves onto the site. The Spike special delivery, drop it down. No kill found. Here's the plan. Time alone. They have about a second to spare. Pushing through. Chogamo holds. Denied in the end. Everyone's low. And Divide to clean up.
If that round doesn't have you on the edge of your seat watching map 5 of the lower bracket finals, I don't know what will. What on earth was that?
I'm leaning so hard on the desk, trying to make sense of that. I've almost broken it in half.
Gorgeous little play there from PRX. And then it all comes down to the final moments. Don't know how EG managed to scramble to sight that quickly. And Jing had an opportunity to shut it all down. But it was Divide to put the final nail in the coffin. EG are on an eco on their attack side. Remember, they're coming off a 13-5 victory over Loud, the best team of all time on Ascent.
The momentum should not be on the side of PRX right now. It really shouldn't, but they've just converted a bonus round.
And we're talking about that being one of EG's greatest strengths at the beginning of this tournament run. Snatched away.
Boostio. God damn, he's clean with it.
There's another one of those first duels. He's so aggressive.
Aim held down with the Sheriff enough to get the one. Alarmbot spots it. He knows Boostio's close to the corner. Forsaken desperate to clear him out, but you challenge him, and you might just get tested in unfortunate ways. Still, they bring him down. Updraft over the top, knives rattled away. Out of the hands of Hot Flash play. It's covered from the side, and just like that, swings and bloody roundabouts. It's going to be another Thrifty, assuming they can get the spike down.
But only 15 health remaining on Mindfreak. He can't do anything about this.
Spike planted.
EG off the back of Boostio's incredible couple in mid. And then finding a Jing tucked in the corner where he can't possibly escape off the drone Bladestorm play. EG have found their first.
I love it.
What an answer back to a round that was anyone's to take.
Yeah. Breathing life back into this EG squad. I mean, there was nothing that would have hurt more, I think, than seeing a 4-0 deficit this early on.
And beyond just Boostio hitting a couple of nice shots, that's the A-side pressure finding a hole there as CGRS just walks through mid. I mean, he is really exposed in that position. And he is playing an anti-eco, so maybe he's not as worried as he possibly should be in some of the gun rounds. But Boostio punished him for it. And this is where, you know, the opening on the pistol where CGRS just has all the confidence in the world. This is where you see the other side of that, I think. Him just getting caught out and Forsaken trying to come in to bail. We already know the words.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so good. We've heard it before.
I'm that guy. Blah, blah, blah. But he has been putting up the numbers.
Yeah, he's been walking the walk.
B-main presence shown early. Bit of a stack up here with a Prowler. Doubled up once more, looking see if they can get the wall online potentially. They break the turret.
I'm looking
at course of EG.
I'm looking at CGRS's ult here. They want Jing to get an aggressive wall down, but if it gets broken, do they have some kind of counter-aggression using the Nightfall? EG have got to be careful in these kind of situations. You do not want your own Miracle Thrifty round to be thrown back in your face.
Weird circumstances with all this B main control. I mean, the Haunt over the top, used for the dart.
Yeah, EG are very spread out without actually controlling too much of anything.
Yeah, they've lost mid-control on the defense side still for PRX, but the door's being closed. And so it's Demon 1 that's pushed up in that advanced lurk position. EG love to do this.
Yeah.
They do it often, but he's going to have to break the doors or have any sort of impact in here, and that requires a distraction from his team. That's what this is for now towards B main. No command, ripping forwards. There needs to be a bailout here. Jing close to the corner. He's going to get cleared. He still gets the one as well. Shots are fired. Through. Better weaponry will win the day.
And CGRS there with just a small mistake. He was holding his Fade Ultimate, tried to use it, and it got taken away from him. So they were really attempting to fight that B main incredibly heavily, and they just couldn't quite get the ultimate off in time. That's really taken the sting out of this round. And you're right, Brent, watch out for those Demon 1 lurks. He'll play entry with them sometimes, and hard lurk at other times on the attack side, even with an operator in his hand. It's one of the big changes that EG have made to their Ascent gameplay that caused them to be able to beat the best teams in the world.
Yeah. Mindfreak here, I mean, trying to get away with something. Possibly some kills as they're all collected into the corner. But EG, necessary rounds to make it a bit more even here. Starting on their attack side, it's the least favored side in theory. Why it would have been just absolutely awful for them to get that 0-4 beginning in terms of the rounds, winning that Thrifty, getting it moving into something else. Big ults online for PRX though.
Including the Nightfall, which they weren't able to use into the null command on the previous. And set up for a 3-player clash in A main. Now, PRX have been frequently pressuring the wings of the map, the extremities, and EG have been able to deal with it. Mindfreak got caught in this spot before, on the pistol round.
They're going for wine aggression again. Jing is the one who's playing hyper-aggressive here, but surely the smallest piece of util will punish this. Orb tap, one-way renewed. Jing's not there, it's not synced up at all. Mindfreak now is left to just hold his position. Paranoia attempting to reposition once more, has the TP here. Com, does he want to go for it? He was thinking about it. The Hunter's Fury in his back pocket.
He didn't realize how fat that ult would have been. 3 players grouped up from PRX, leaving the mid side of the map completely open. Only CGRS pressuring B. There's no one to punish CGRS though, and the deeper he gets, the more confident PRX can be. It's an A re-hit.
That's why they're playing so close. Lockdown. That worked though. PRX, you have to respect this one. Not much to break here. Hello, Mindfreak.
Oh,
He's behind them.
he could have a free kill there on Jorgamo, but he just didn't spot the timing.
It's just not heard for. Forsaken from the heaven position. 2 kills claimed before going down to the nade, and still it's this double flank. This setup all the way around here. Com has to try and at least stop this one. Clears it with a slide off angle. Expects the second player. They don't know where Mindfreak is. Spike eventually planted. And Com seeks to reposition now, waiting it out. Here's the footsteps, a bit of a soundbait from him. Very intelligent plays all over the place.
Very nicely handled from EG. There was a ton of danger in that round, but it all starts with them picking apart an A main control. Play from PRX that just didn't really seem to make too much sense. I mean, they're tucking Mindfreak away into wine and just having Jing swing off for paranoia contact. It's so awkward. And as soon as Forsaken goes down here to the nades,
okay.
Com's got the other 2. He's waiting back here in order to use his Sova ult. And Com's so good for that, neutralizing the threat.
Yeah, not only watching the flank attempts, but he's got his ult as well, just in case they did play for a full retake on the site.
And this is the issue, playing against EG on Ascent. They're so dangerous on attack side. They'll come up with game plans to pick you to pieces.
Yeah, they got levels to it.
It really does look like they're very aware here. It's somewhat similar to their game plan on Pearl. They're going to pressure over towards A. They're waiting for some kind of take to happen. Trying to find the holes in what PRX are doing. Because PRX are not as thorough with the utility. Their strengths lie elsewhere. So EG are forcing them to lean more into EG's game. Slower tempo, much more about how the utility is being used. Still haven't found a way of being able to use this Nightfall. Tried to get value out of it quite a bit earlier.
Knocked down to the worst weaponry. This is EG making a go of it. If they can grab a lead as well on their attack side, I mean, okay, sky's the limit. It was a poor beginning, but yeah.
Yeah, they've only played one best of 5 before in this team's history, which they ended up losing. Where's Forsaken off to? It's like a delayed tiles crunch.
Yeah, really delayed. Demon 1 plucks him out of the sky. Boostio from behind, has to be the second level to it, but not to be so. 2 players fall down towards tiles. I know CGRS is there, and this is a bit of a pivot and an attempt by EG, but they're just going to be taking up the space towards A anyway. Com will be that backstab.
Com's in danger.
He is in danger.
He's found the
corner.
timing.
Yeah, he's able to get back to safety here. So the plant will go down again. Exactly the same points, Josh, that we were bringing up a little bit prior with Com playing that far back. He's got the Hunter's Fury to be that extra level to it.
Right, and he's looking for any flanks happening for the retake.
There's a kill though. Tavai stepping on the gas. Nightfall now scatters through. Jorgamo not caught. Sprayed. Transfer. Jorgamo. Oh my.
What a play. Tucked himself in the corner away from the Nightfall. Cleans up 3 easy ones. PRX had no idea that he was there. Trusted that Nightfall. Absolutely. And it was a half buy. But after Tavai opens up the round like this, or opens up the retake, I should say,
One enemy remaining.
everybody at PRX chomping at the bit to try and make this one a reality.
Yeah, those are the moments you dream of. Makes the most of that round, a slight gap in the util. And here's that round advantage, granted to EG. Operator online for Forsaken. Fast plays now. This is a tent, isn't it? All the way through, there's a haunt off of it. Wasn't dealt with, but Jin gets counter spam.
Excellent counter to that play from EG. We've seen some teams run similar versions of it, but that was a very quick reaction. They're just getting advantages by neutralizing what PRX are trying to do.
It's all just being a slow beginning for EG.
It's all about the counter punch.
Yeah, wait and see.
Or stopping the punch.
Hunter's Fury, offloaded. Let rip towards, into tree. Trying to clear a path and a way back into it. Shot misses, goes wide, Forsaken. Well, granted the kill, instead it's all going topsy-turvy. EG, massive player advantage.
And Com's constantly here, watching for anybody trying to backstab. Coming through Gelado, coming through mid, Com's got your number.
Already thinking ahead to try and take these weapons out of their hands.
Yeah.
Already. You can see how
EG
fast he was on the flank there.
EG are hyper confident here. They're calling the save so early. And looking to hunt, looking to punish.
Right. Oh, there's an angle. Damage done. Door's broken. Tuck towards lane. Forsaken just covering it. There's a shot landed. Okay, there's the punish. Do they still want to go for this? Still try and take away his guns. It might be worth it. Plenty of money in the bank to try and make a play towards it. Spam down, Forsaken. Jump spot, round the side, round the corner. Yeah, eventually cornering him. That was the goal for them. Take the operator out of his hands. 2-round lead. Now built here for G. Look at that. Beautiful. Where would a counter spam?
Yeah, such a good idea to start this out. And EG have got an avalanche of momentum. You can see it in the way that Alex is responding. This match is slipped right away from PRX. Defense side on ascent.
Usually where you're going to be favored, but well, Demon 1. Absolute shutdown and stopper put to any sort of statistics here because this is EG running away with their attack side. First kill.
And these first kills have so consistently been going the way of EG. Anything PRX tries to do to generate an advantage in the early round, even on maps that PRX was winning, it wasn't working. On average in this series, EG have been plus 4.5 in first kills to first deaths. 4 or 5 first kills more than your opponent. Credit to PRX that it's even this competitive here in map 5. To be able to battle back with that kind of adversity.
We mentioned it earlier, yeah. They are just statistical anomalies.
But at some point, the numbers are going to catch up with you, especially if you're having to battle through every slow round like this, with only 4 people to cover the whole map on defense.
Flash repeat, the play is cooked up in the midst of it.
Oh no.
CGRS!
Oh no.
Where's the pistol round play that we saw prior? Can't hit the shots. Jorgamo, he's in the back lines. TPs. wallpaper of his life. Doesn't actually know where these players are. Still through the box, paranoid up, wider face still, yet again, but damage was done prior.
And Divide just baiting, expecting everybody else on EG to be here.
The bait and switch, Divide containing Mind Freak. He might have put a stop to this. No, spammed through the wall. Time was running really damn short there, but they're going to hold back onto this one. Res online, looks like there might be an attempt to play for this one. PRX throwing everything into it. The players are weak, you can understand why. No command now. Waves emanating, catching, no util to be used, but Demon 1 has immediately shut that one down. Heaven's watched for. Too many layers to it, too much safety in the numbers of EG, and confidence in their aim to hold the ground.
And the desk were talking about it, but this Demon has been unleashed from hell. 11-4. Taking over in the server. I mean, look at that! Oh, so confident. It's only a Marshall on the other side, and had it been an operator, Forsaken would have landed the kill.
That's ridiculous,
But
though.
these shots are just insane.
Didn't catch it initially, but as soon as I heard the dash and the kill feed light up, I was like, okay, well, this guy's on it. He's locked in.
And now op v op as we head into round 10. A little wall boost to post Forsaken up, looking towards mid, where Com's been playing. But Demon 1's going to start the round out slowly, watching B.
Already into it. Ethan earning his ult. And yeah, this wall boost has been a position and a play that's been done quite some time, actually. I remember Scream pulling this off in 2021.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people used to run Sage on this map back in the day. But it's a bit of a weird composition now, certainly not meta. You know, no Killjoy on the defense side as well is definitely going to skew your expectations for which side is favored, but usually teams are still able to put up very respectable performances.
So diligence is shown here with the util, clearing to be with the paranoia. Forsaken. Onus is on him to see if he can hit some of these shots as well and return with the fire. Blind, spam, the shots, they're rattling, but no recipients, no targets to be found and collected. Instead it is to still on CGRS towards the back of the side, but all the smokes are watched.
EG with such exceptional diligence there. Demon 1 stuck in a position.
Demon 1, man!
Trying to frag his way out.
Still getting away with it. Only the one though before traded. Jump spot, damage done, rifle picked up and exchanged. 2v3, a chance to maybe win it.
But almost a frantic tone to the way that PRX is moving around
Spam
here.
onto the corner, it's a common position, and Boostio is dealt with. Here's the knives, here's the updrafts, at work, through into the corner. Jorgamo shuts it down before it gets away. Too much more to Vi. It's an impossible task, an impossible scenario. It's a 1v2. Nobody's giving him a clean fight. Nobody's giving him a fair fight. Running rings around him because they know time is of the essence, and he's got none of it, man. None of it at all.
EG are absolutely running away with this final map. I've seen PRX pull off some ridiculous stuff across this run, across their previous tournament runs as well. They're a very experienced team in BO5, but this has got to shake you. Oh. Demon 1 looks like he's absolutely on fire. The game plan is working perfectly. The slow play pace dismantling. All of the early picks going the way of EG. How do they respond? How could PRX get anything out of this?
2 chances left in the half. The money's not good, it's a half buy. They're having to buy and save for the final round. Here's the timing once more taken with the drone over the top, lighting him up. Forsaken, he has to use the dash to disengage. He's still locked into the corner. Boostio was waiting for the audio cues. He heard the cross.
Yeah.
It's going to take magic. Dig themselves out of this hole. Needs to be a massive moment. Shot through the wall, that landed, that connected, straight to the head, flash to set them up, push him back in, it's dismantled in an instant.
And they hear the classic EG play again, leave Demon 1 posted up in B main so they can entry from the opposite side to the initiators. The pinch comes through and Jing left reeling. Doesn't know where the hit's coming from.
Yeah, head on a swivel.
It's fluid! It's
everything, man.
Absolutely fluid from EG. Brutalizing PRX here. And now you're seeing how this team was able to dismantle Loud in that 13-5 victory.
Take a look at that timeline. String of rounds, 8 in a row for EG, paving the way in red.
Looking like they are on a warpath towards their first grand finals ever and a rematch with Fnatic.
They want it. Vengeance is in the air, man. Final round of the first half. No reason to change up too much more. EG have been doing a bit of a flash dart repeat on this one. Similar again, updraft play. No command's actually going to be forced out by PRX. Takes away the knives. Do they still want to fight for? They main control. They don't really have the util for it. There's the flash. Hot flash underhanded. Winning out that duel, but a paranoia meets them. They have to back away and respect it. Avoiding it. Aim's reset enough. It's a little bit strained. All over the top. Jing! No way. When does this smoke fade? And meanwhile, players lurking their way into mid, out in the open. Hunter's Fury clearing it. Boostio, he was called out and he was dealt with there by Mind Freak. This is for the round here. Sometimes takes a bit of chaos has been sewed into it. A lot of individuality on show.
PRX looking good to be able to get the fourth. Where a pistol round, a bonus round, something like that might be able to save things. Jing with a repush.
Has to. There was a sound bait. Good awareness. Just with a jiggle. Good trade from Com. The drop down to 59 health. Has the dart. 25 seconds left. Setting his sight towards the A side. Damage. So much of it being done. Can't quite land enough shots as well to do the job and bring down the opposition. It's all waiting for him. No winning in that scenario. So, 4 rounds earned through sweat and tears for PRX. 4 rounds could be enough.
PRX will be hoping that it is. The belief in themselves, I'm sure, won't falter.
Let's send it down to Yinsu with a special guest as well, interview down on the floor.
Thank you very much, Sideshow and Brent. What a great half that was for EG, and I'm joined by Boostio's mom, one of the great EG supporters here in the arena. First of all, Kelly, you know, they managed to bring it back the map before as well, and they're doing great here. So how are you feeling?
Oh, I am so pumped. I'm so excited. It's Doll's birthday, so we're going to win this for him at least.
Oh, I think they're going to win it for all the fans that are supporting them as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And speaking of those fans, a lot of people, you know, doubted this team coming into this tournament. So what have you made of their journey and the fact they're able to get this far?
Never give up, never surrender is my son's motto. And I'm just so impressed and hyped and can't believe I'm here. This is amazing country. Everybody is so sweet. And I'm just living a dream.
I think he's living the dream as well, I'll bet. And speaking of Boostio, you know, how do you feel, how proud are you of the fact that he's not just winning, but he's leading his team to success?
It is amazing. It has been a roller coaster. So him doing this well and the team supporting him just means all the world to this mom.
Well, I mean, in terms of that, how much would it mean to you, and do you think what it would mean to him as well, to be able to win today and reach a grand finals here in Tokyo?
I would die.
Please don't.
No, I literally am amazed and so pumped, and everybody is rooting for all of us. Couldn't ask for more.
If you could say anything to him right now, you know, he's up there, what would you say?
Boostio, you know I love you. Keldon boy, you're rocking our names. I appreciate it. And I love you, boy.
They've got this, they've got this. Thank you so much, Kelly, for joining me. EG, oh, no problem at all. EG, they're on the precipice of making that grand final. Sideshow and Brent, I'm going to send it back to you guys and see if they can indeed close this out.
Set the stage for it. It's that 4-round lead. Love to see the support from the families as well. I mean, listen. It's nervous energy, of course, but it's almost within their grasp. Just can't let it slip here and now.
And I'm sure the fans, the family, more nervous than even the players in this kind of situation, who've been building up to it their whole careers, looking for a moment like
here's
this.
A switch up. Tempo increased to the max. Set lineups towards the back. That's a paranoia. Jorgamo couldn't see much. Okay, Demon 1 from heaven. Ethan off to the side. Tatar from the... Okay. Miles away. The flood attempt from EG pays off almost instantly.
And Mind Freak left alone, as he has been in so many situations on this map. Just in an unwinnable spot. thoughts rushing through his head of how quickly this has all turned against him. The round, in some sense, being a microcosm of the map, because it's slipping away from PRX. It looked good to start there, a lot of pressure, but EG were ready to solve it. Flash recon combo, people spamming through all over in the blink of an eye.
A relatively standard setup here by EG. You know, you have Demon 1 close to the corner, taking his time with it. Ethan seeking as well to help out. You can see the pop flash there. I'm pretty sure Colm fires his dart as well from spawn when he knows that his pressure's coming in over towards A.
Yeah. And they completely dismantle that PRX push. Ethan with a groan. He's about the only player on EG that's used to situations like this. So if it's doing that to Ethan, what's it going to be doing to the rest of them?
Barreling forward, straight down Cat, taking a fight. Turn, but enough to reset. Demon 1. He's out for blood. He's hunting for more. 2 away. Ace on the cards, but denied.
Denied his chance at a clip. But it'll take a bit more than that for PRX to deny his chance at a grand final. They're closing in, tightening the net around Mindfreak and Divide.
Cutting noise, but a spike out in the open. Really no chance in this round. It would have to be
anything away.
Insane shots for the high-low setup. Doubled up, another face round the side. That is going to be 10 rounds now for EG. On the precipice, on the brink.
For Demon 1, top of the scoreboard currently, 19-7. This is his first big event ever in Valorant. He's played the playoffs in Americas, of course, but in terms of global competition, he didn't even come to lock in.
No.
Everybody else, basically, in franchising, got their opportunity to dip their toes in the waters early and feel out what a stage like this is like. Not Demon 1. Does it appear to have hurt him? Not at all. He's risen to the occasion.
Stepping up when his team needed it. Fast. Off to the side here. It's a cheeky wall over the top. Demon 1 was separated. Removed. A lot of util being expended and sent towards the back of the site. Com trying to anchor from that position. He's slowed down to a crawl. So, just like that, an immediate answer of PRX. Won't be as easy as a path as you might have intended, because that is flawless. All the weapons staying alive. Players healthy.
And that's a very common exec by PRX, one that they were running a lot of the time over in Pacific. The wall boost up, people flooding in, applying a ton of pressure onto the players hard anchoring the site. This an anti-bonus, so PRX had better weaponry, and Mindfreak making sure that there wasn't a push coming through mid. One of the most common counters to a team that runs a B-pop like that is going to be to push 2 players, maybe even 3, out through mid to flank B main. Here instead, this looks like some kind of recon spam setup over towards tiles.
Flash. Demon 1's pushed off again. Is this the exact same play, really?
Yep.
Ultimate. See the util being cycled now to try and get themselves into the side, but no one really pathing towards the back of it. Kill was found with Divide falling.
It feels like Forsaken was almost waiting for a flash to be able to push further.
He's in danger. Forsaken's really in danger here. Is there going to be the squeeze from behind? The answer is a little bit delayed here. Smoke at his feet. Demon 1 can't take a clean fight, but finally the dart lights him up.
The utility's so good from EG.
Cigarettes, okay. CJRS finding the 2. Shocked up, bringing him down. And Jing has to get off his perch. Away from the wall. TP, it's a fake out. Jorgen Mo! He's teaching him a very harsh lesson.
You don't gotta do it to him like that.
Yeah, that's just nasty.
What's the reason he's pulled that one out?
Absolute fake out.
Unreal.
Depths of TikTok or something. I don't know, man. I don't know, but
the Jorgamo play, seen it in Americas.
Yeah.
But look at this, how well they put the squeeze down onto Forsaken. And that, and fake like he could be going into the smoke or on top of the wall.
I did it. Yeah, you can barely believe it. I really did pull that off. The cider map.
And listen,
lower bracket finals.
Imagine what's going through the EG players' heads right now. They're 2 rounds away from making it to the grand finals.
Credit to the players immediately coming up with an answer as well to disrupt that B hit when it was coming through. Just lost a round to it this time. Missing a prior round, absorbing it. Here's a drone. Tom's going to be spotting out Forsaken. Down mid. Oh, Odin at play, Odin at work. Alarm bot, spam off the contact. Narrow angle for Team in 1. Takes it, pushed back. There's going to be flanks all over the place here. And Forsaken has found his timing. Disrespect showcased. Wow. Jiggle peeked. I think this is spotted.
Doesn't. Oh.
Yeah, Jogamo was actually just trying to set up. Oh! Oh my! They weren't aware of it. The paranoia just a little bit too deep.
What a moment of brilliance from Forsaken.
Boostio anchored towards the back, holding it. Judge in his hand. Do you dare claim him? Do you dare try to clear him out? It's a face together. It nets them the kill. And at this point, Ethan left to back away here. Unwinnable. Facing the wrong way. 4 for Forsaken.
Not allowed to save. Not at all. What a play by Forsaken, though. He finds the perfect timing through on a very similar play to one that you might expect to see from Demon 1 on the attack side, becoming the lurking jet. But the fact that he also swings and deletes Com. They need more of that from him. They are going to rely on Forsaken so heavily to get this deficit back under control. And it's still all fun and games for EG. They don't really believe the comeback's possible for PRX on the attack side. But this round, it's a gamble. They're all over towards B. It's the wrong side of the map, so PRX are going to get a very easy plant and post-plant here.
Now, they did spend all their util with this exec. That's the downside of playing so quickly at the beginning, is that, okay, when you realize there's nobody on the site, you kind of just use all those key pieces of util. Wall, propped up against the door. It's going to be really difficult to chew through when you don't have the weapons for it.
Yeah, that kind of wall is just impenetrable, essentially.
That's
how you go.
Didn't realize they were already up on the line. It's Demon 1 to answer. Smoke propped down, Divide close to the corner. This is getting a bit dicey, a bit dangerous. There needs to be containment, and there it is. 2 players left standing now.
Flash recon.
Dart, yep. Great combo, blinded up, yet Forsaken, he is dealing with it well enough, lighting them up, disrespect being showcased. Everyone's hunting and trying to scramble for the final kill.
But despite the fact that that took a few rifles out of the hands of PRX, their economy is still looking in a good spot. Within 4 rounds now. And PRX's composition, it doesn't have that killjoy. It's still really effective on the attack and defense side. It's perhaps a bit more of a balanced composition, you could argue, than the meta comp that EG are running. But EG are on the favored side of this map. One where most teams are going to be able to rack up many rounds in a row. PRX would need to take the ults that they've earned and turn them into a snowball here.
It's all in again. Nightfall to the back, towards the back side of it, no one's suspecting it. Forsaken, who's right over the top. Not sure if it's a Nightfall or what. Com seeks to equalize, unleashing the Hunter's Fury, and does connect it onto Jing.
Who was on top of the wall again. So anticipating the play, they know what it looks like right now from PRX. They're just choosing to play full retake with no command.
Yeah, Ethan's got that one. Lets it loose. Pushing them back, no util to be used in this instance. Already just starting to flood the way back into the site. Has to be the big moment. Demon 1. This guy is just spectacular. It's 3 for him to buy. He's left towards main, but not for much longer. Full defuse, and EG, they could feel it. Tension's running high, but maybe they can start to breathe a sigh of relief. That is the 12th round earned for them.
Match point gain for Evil Geniuses in only their 2nd ever best of 5. They have 5 opportunities now to be able to head to a Grand Finals rematch. And the anime arc will continue. Them a 2nd shot at taking down the Titan. The big dogs. The big bad at the end. And the belief must be absolutely flowing in the camp currently. EG can feel it. It's within touching distance. The biggest moment of their careers.
Will there be the nuance from PRX? They've been all in at the beginning of almost every single one of these rounds. No strangers to it now. You can see pushing into mid, close to the corner, sprayed down but traded. Clear advantage this time to PRX. It was a different turn of events. And Ethan bait the reswing.
Ethan alone. It looks like an A split where he's going to be under incredible pressure here.
It's Ethan to try and finalize. Shut this down before it gets going. Prowler, flash over the top. That's caught onto a multitude of players. Nade, barreling forwards. Heaven control is dealt with. Com's still there, pushing the issue and forcing the fights towards him. can't stand up to it, but the spike is going to be denied. Boostio has brought it into a 1v2. Rez is available. Jing wants to use it. They don't want this round to escape them.
Boostio's going for the big wraparound play here. Has he found the timing early enough? I mean, for some reason, PRX seemed to think he could be back up at heaven here.
Yeah.
I think the wall would have blocked that from happening.
It is being watched though, just an angle, but now he knows exactly where he is. Mindfreak holding the cross, Shorty in his hand. Extension of play in the series, we keep going.
4 opportunities. These are going to tick down, and EG, their economy's not in a great spot. Probably the best decision here would be for EG to take an eco round. But then the score, you're thinking 12-9.
Yeah.
And suddenly, all of the laughing on the EG side of the camp, the carefree attitude, you might see some doubts start to creep in.
Might start to fade away.
PRX have got to keep it absolutely clean, literal perfection from them, round after round being put up on the board. But as they get closer, the mental pressure on EG is going to increase.
For a team like PRX, they've defied all expectations to even get here in the first place. I mean, substituting one of your best players, who you've essentially defined all of your strategies, your compositions around, sometimes pulling out his Reign at play. Subbing in CJRS with 10 days practice at the beginning before this event even kicked off. I don't think even themselves, listen, I think it's fair to say, I don't think they were even expecting to be able to go on the run in the fashion that they have so far.
I think you could say that about both teams.
Yeah.
Something that EG kept repeating in press conferences was, we have no expectations. And when you have no expectations, but you continue to perform excellently, you get runs like this from both of these teams. Defying the odds and clashing here in the lower bracket final.
There's tension in the air.
Demon 1, 27 kills across 20 rounds, almost double the next player on EG.
The lone rifle for his team that's otherwise on the half pipe. For PRX looking, just grab another one. This is rare for them, isn't it? Slow down once more. No big all-ins on either side of the extremities, just exploring towards mid, keeping control of A main.
Trying to feel out some kind of tactic from EG. Remember, this team is known for their trap plays. Making something happen like that would be a great way to push it over the line.
Here's a close play. It's Boostio to take the contact. Ethan holding a flash. He's going to be swinging off of it. Boostio sees it. Lands it. Pop flash in his face. Jumping right clicks. This is getting dangerous. More than dangerous. A little bit prior, it was Demon 1 who also ripped off the head of one of the players. PRX now. It's a scramble. 40 seconds remaining.
How many times do we see it where a comeback like this gets halted by a Thrifty while teams just freeze up? Forsaken could be the difference maker here.
Still
trying
walking.
to lead his team in.
Nice hold of it. Slow to try and cross in. 4 positions gained. TP into the back of the site, showing up those defenses. They handed the rifle over to Ethan. He does not get the kill, but blinded up. Jorgamo is in the action. He's in the fight, and players are loaded. He might just be able to do it. Jumping spot is shut down. Tavai, surely he's finished. It's a 1v1 to save them in the series. The spike needs to be planted, and Com knows it. He's slowed it all the way down. He's playing it safe. The shock darts at play. There needs to be the plant. There needs to be the fight force down. Com's done it. Paving the way on a Thrifty. EG are destined to get that rematch.
They win in the final round in the most unlikely fashion of a Thrifty play, where Com has a classic in hand to finish it off. And if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about EG's run throughout this, finding the wins in the most unlikely fashion, and yet looking excellent all throughout their run in Masters Tokyo. What a run. What a team to have vying for the trophy. And PRX also would have been very worthy competitors, getting it all the way there to the 5th match in the lower bracket final, without arguably their best player.
The smiles, you can tell the expectations. They weren't particularly high for that team. They've done well, but that's going to be elimination for them, that top 3 finish. And EG now, they set their sights on a much more grander prize. They've earned the right to challenge again those lofty opponents, Fnatic at their core. The lauded super team, that's all we've been calling them. They're going to be waiting on the other side of this now for that rematch where EG, they did push them all the way, but congratulations and cheers in order.
And overall here, think about the gauntlet that EG have run again. Through DRX, through Loud, through Liquid, now through PaperX. All to meet up against Fnatic twice in this tournament and contest a trophy. Evil Geniuses going to their first ever grand finals. A team that has been disrespected, downtrodden, never believed in.
Oh yeah.
Started this year with a handful of fans, now playing in front of thousands in a stadium, chanting their names.
You love to see it. Strength to strength with this EG squad. Living up every expectation that was placed on their shoulders. I mean, they went into this tournament with none of them. They've taken to every challenge that's faced them. And here they stand now. Another chance to take down Fnatic and deny something that no team has ever done really in VCT. Fnatic are going for that back-to-back, Josh.
Yeah, they are. I mean, either way, history ready to be made. We've seen that at so many different VCT tournaments. We've been absolutely blessed with some historic moments and matches in recent times. But it's either going to be Evil Geniuses picking up the trophy or the first ever back-to-back. A ridiculous situation for Masters Tokyo, a tournament, a path that nobody could have predicted. And part of the reason are these five guys, and part of the coach, they've just looked incredible. Even the manner in which they went through things today was world class. The way in which they were generating advantages at the start of the rounds was monstrous. I feel like they should have been able to almost blow out PaperX in some of these situations because they were just so clean at creating 5v4s for themselves. But that's what happens when you play up against a team of this caliber. A team that when they're pushed, always find a way to make things competitive.
Of course, got to give credit again to PaperX despite them going out. I mean, they made it further than anyone's real expectations of this squad, but persevered, finishing out at third, but all sights are set towards that grand finals.
And with the way that Demon 1 played on that final map, you can be sure that the nerves did not get to him. 28 kills towards the end there with 5 first bloods. Looking like a menace, ready for the rematch against one of his heroes, I would say, in Valorant, Durka.
Having fun with it. The vibes are high, both of these teams. Gonna make the most of moments like this one. You know, Ethan was huffing and puffing. He's like, man, I've been here before on the big stage, big map 5 going to distance. But you can see how much it means for a lot of these players, man. It's elation on the screens. EG, well-deserved victory as well. We'll send it down to Oda, who's down on the floor for a post-match interview.
それでは勝利を収めましたイービルジーニアスからジョージ・エモ選手にお越しいただきました。さあそしてなんといっても今日お誕生日ハッピーバースデージョージ・エモ。Thank you. 最高の誕生日です。さあ試合を振り返っていかがでしたか。
So, tell us a little bit about this match today.
Very hard.
とてもハードでした。
ありがとうございます。ハードですよね。そこでどう勝ち切りましたか。
So, what do you think was the main reason why you got victorious today?
I think it's just a new stage. Like we're getting into the rhythm again. That's how it worked for the group stage. So now, especially when we're on the grand final stage, we're just getting into the rhythm. It took 5 maps, but you know, we still pulled it through. That's all that matters at the end of the day.
もうとにかく自分たちのリズムをしっかりと持ってくること、グループステージもそのいいリズムで勝ち切ってきたので、グランドファイナルでも変わらず自分たちのリズム、そしてマップは5つありますので、そこで必ず勝っていこうという思いでした。
ありがとうございます。さあそしてアセントマッチポイントを取って最後にタイムアウトを取ったと思います。ポッターコーチからどのようなお話がありましたか。
At the 5th map, Ascent, at the very end, I think you took time out. Did Coach Porter tell you something special?
She said, just keep doing you, Jaw. Like, you're gonna get yours whenever it comes, and then the last round, I teleport backside, got my 2. My team flooded in, calm clutched it, so that's all she told me.
もうこのままの勢いで行こうと、自分たちができることをしようということを言われました。
ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。そして多くのファンが見守っています。ぜひメッセージいただいていいですか。
Yeah, please, all the viewers and audience, a message.
I just want to say I love all the fans. I appreciate everybody coming out to the big event. Tomorrow we have grand finals, so I mean it means the world to me that I won my birthday too. Like, it means a lot. I appreciate all the love.
皆さん応援ありがとうございます。明日はグランドファイナルです。今日誕生日で勝てたこともとても特別な思いですけれども、明日もよろしくお願いします。
ありがとうございます。明日のグランドファイナルに進出したイービルジニアスからジョージ・エモ選手でした。大きな拍手を。
Evil Geniuses defied all the odds. They defeated the Americas first seed. They defeated the EMEA first seed. They've now defeated the Pacific first seed. It's really come to fruition. Potter's diabolical plan has happened. Evil Geniuses are going to a grand final at a Masters event.
And it is their first ever grand finals. In any tournament ever, their deepest run is at an international Masters event. The first one of its kind that they have qualified for as a team. Everyone doubted them, but this run has come its course, and they have an opportunity to win now versus Fnatic.
No, they absolutely do. I mean, the form, the perseverance to be able to fight back after giving up that map point, that series point rather, over to PRX, dropping split. They rallied back, they closed it out, and it is just, it's a run that you cannot be upset about no matter who you are. The way that this team has turned around their season is absolutely miraculous, and it has been gorgeous to watch.
And this is another big tick in the box, right, in terms of going to a best of 5, being taken the distance, and that resilience being tested for EG. Dream run, sure, but they weren't dropping maps. Everything was comfortable. Right. Here we've seen them stretch to their absolute limit and actually sustaining through this and closing things out versus PRX of all teams.
And the style that this team has established has been so good. They can play well against the really structured squads. The teams like Fnatic, they're at the top of tactics. They can play against a PRX who brings out aggression, weird compositions, and still shut them down. They're so good at adapting to their opponent, at making calls on the fly. And I mean, that's the reason why they continue to just be so resilient in this incredible run.
Look, I think it goes without saying that if you were one of those doubters at the beginning of the season, you know who I'm talking about. All right, I'm just saying right now, better eat your words, all right? Because that was beautiful Valorant. That was incredible. But of course, that takes us over to Mama Boostio's baby boy as we talk about probably the rising star of this particular series throughout the entirety of that time. It has just been so wonderful to see Boostio not only establish himself, we said this before, as an IGL that can call with the best of them, but he frags with the best of them as well. Very few people are able to do that at that high level. Boostio's been consistent. Look at those stats. I
mean, it's just an incredible performance from him the whole way throughout. Definitely the player of the series for the side of EG here. And yeah, there's a little bit of a dip there when he gets to his set, but he didn't need to be the guy fragging because that's when Demon 1 came online. But that Pearl in particular was just an absolute monstrous masterclass performance on how you can squeeze every little ounce of utility and just power from a KJ, nearly averaging 200 damage per round. It was just a star-studded performance from him this whole series throughout.
But I definitely do want to give a moment as we say goodbye to PRX, a team that, you know, going into this tournament, everyone was like, if they get some games, that'll be awesome. Something's not going to be here, you know. Instead, they end up top 3 at a global event, Hypoc.
That's what's crazy. For something to not be here, I'd say I was one of them. The bar was so low for PRX, right? In terms of expectations coming here, but CGRS, man, and even from the interview earlier when I spoke to him, he was saying, yeah, you know, first couple of games, I was super nervous, but we're winning. What the hell? Like, what's going on sort of thing? And I think that reflects it in the performance we've seen. They've actually invested more faith into CGRS in some of these composition shifts. So I think even though with a loss here, they walk away from this event with their heads held high for sure.
They absolutely do. And in the future, when they're back with something, even in this current form, we know that PRX will show up, will be at Champions, and be a force to be reckoned with. They define their own style of Valorant. No one else plays like them. They continue to defy expectations, and I know going forward, they will continue to do so.
Yeah, I mean, I walked into the back room for a little bit there in between one of the maps, and they just said, "What is going on?" I said, "What do you mean?" They said, "How are we winning? How are we?"
I mean, that was
ahead
everyone's
in this
question.
series?"
Literally, yeah.
But that's just been the whole tournament, effectively. But the perseverance, you know, even down to the bitter end, people say, "Oh, fake comeback," whatever. To be able to still fight back when they're at that match point, when they're down and in the dirt, they still push to put up more rounds. They never give up. They never surrender. And that is why I love this team, because you can beat them, but you cannot break them.
Yeah.
Even in losses, they're still one of the most fun teams. I'd say the most fun team to watch,
100%.
period.
100%. That's part of the reason why it's hard not to cheer for this team.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like,
For both of them.
For both of them.
Yeah.
They're both, you know, they're 10 incredible players led by 2 stupendous coaches, and it's just hard not to appreciate what those players put on stage for us today. It was genuinely incredible. It really was.
I mean, that match delivered, and who would have thought it would have been that one? PRX with a sub versus an EG that had no expectations. It was the last seed for Americas coming in. It's just an incredible story, and for EG now, continuing that into the grand finals, it's amazing.
I will always pray to the Church of Chosen from this point moving forward. What a timeline we live in. But here it is. This is it. The bracket's complete as we set the stage for yet another epic confrontation between EMEA's finest and America's finest, Fnatic versus Evil Geniuses. They've met before. Both teams came out of that one bloodied, bruised, and broken, but they both persevered. Whether it's the lower bracket, whether it's Fnatic managing to come through Achilles, we're setting up yet another epic confrontation between these two teams. It truly does feel like an anime. This is ridiculous.
But I mean, this is where you get that second chance at the final boss. You take that other crack. You made them bleed the first time out. This is the time to try to take them down. We saw them end the map win streak that Fnatic had riding. They were looking to take that record away from Sentinels back in 2021. They got cut shy of that one, tying it at the end of it all. But now, for EG, it's time to buckle down and see if they can get that turnaround here to be ready for tomorrow to try to best them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, for Fnatic as well, the chance to be the first back-to-back tournament winners at a global event to defend their title. They've had such a dominant run thus far, and their closest game, it was against EG. So that match is just, it's going to be the perfect final, really.
And the crazy thing as well, I didn't even realize until a couple of days ago, but actually Chronicles' opportunity to take his third title, which is absolute madness. I'm so excited for tomorrow as well, because I think coming away from that, the big concern would be whether or not EG's confidence was knocked and they were going to come into this series and play a little sluggish, but I think we saw that energy on stage, which is absolutely key to their success, so I'm feeling really good about tomorrow.
And again, it's EG's first ever final. They weren't in the finals in Americas. They weren't in the finals in VCT North America last year. They've never been in a final before, and now they have an opportunity here. It's such a cool story.
I mean, it's only like their third best of 5 ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, this was their second one here today. It was NRG, now PRX, and then Fnatic for a chance at a trophy for the first season of this team coming together. It'd be an absolute miraculous run if they could pull it off.
Well, you heard from all of our analysts. The stage is set. I mean, this is it. It doesn't get any better than this. This crowd has been on fire today. The matches were immaculate. The vibes were incredible. Everything across the board was awesome. But of course, we hope that you join us tomorrow for the final battle between Fnatic and Evil Geniuses to figure out once and for all who walks away from Tokyo as champions. Of course, we'll see you then. Take it easy.
We started this competition with 12 of the best teams in the world, and after today, we'll be down to that final 2. Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 11 of Valorant Masters Tokyo, live from a new venue, the Makuhari Messe in Chiba. It is our best of 5 lower final between Evil Geniuses and PRX. It's the two teams that have already done the impossible. They have defied every expectation, and one of them will have the chance to take it one step further and make a grand finals here in Tokyo.
Here's an attempt to try and flood back in. Showstopper, massive value. Was a bit of a half-by here. First kill foul, but shut down by Jorgamo. He grabs 4 in the midst of it. Here's the overdrive. Forsaken would love a kill. Run and gun, at play, at work. Still Forsaken's in it, but he's the last one left and he's got so much more to do. Spike has been planted for him. At any point now, wide to the angle. Demon 1 shuts him down. But Boostio's feeling the heat now, isn't he?
He really is.
They've been really trying to clear him out of this. The reactions are just sublime.
Go off me.
That's 13-7 for EG to take Fracture. Skipping right around the side, his position was popped out from the Neuroff after the second pop of it. Jing is just so damn confident, this guy, unrelenting. Fight taken with the flash and a nade, pushing them back once they realize that mountain control always not quite there, and the Blade Storms. EG left scampering.
Uncommon failure from Demon 1 as Mindfree picks up 4.
Here into the connector, Jing, he hasn't been dealt with. Still has a nade and a satchel. Jing, he's pushing forwards into them. And sightline of Mindfreak, blinded up, does not matter. Maybe onto the site themselves. Corm, he needs to get this plan down with only 5 seconds left. Brought down, stunned out. Corm has to stick it, a rocket will close. Jing is a monster. What a way to set the stage here. It's 1-1 with the map score now, Josh. Going back to the fast place, dash into the smoker, pull to counter, and what a counter it is! The two entry players, I mean, Jing and Forsaken, they can get nothing done. The pathing there, dropping down into hell, there was a pull prior, and at this point, it's just an absolute aim labs routine.
Even if they fall into the net, sometimes they'll just chew their way out.
Oh, yeah. Raw skill on display. So it's going to be offered to them. Lovely set of kills for Forsaken. Nade into the side, that's a satchel to punish, but such quick reactions. Forsaken is a menace! 13-10, and they are leading the series now.
Outrageous comeback in this third map from PRX.
You gotta know everybody's coming from that choke point. Devi is on the angle of it, pre-fired, lovely flash. Devi is setting the pace of this round excellently. They can't withstand it. No casualties yet, but yet being the key word. Boostio, he's beaming them all down. 3 kills when his team needed it.
It's decided I'm winning. I want to go to grand finals now.
Plan starting to go down into the code, pushing forwards, does get a refresher traded all the way. Trying to take some space towards the back of the side. Demon 1 is not letting anything loose. Map 5, we are going there.
And EG, what a performance.
Was that 400 push-ups? They're going to be feeling it tomorrow, by the way, guys. That's dangerous stuff. You're not going to be able to lift any objects.
What the f*** are they cooking?
Here's the plan. Time alone. They have about a second to spare. Pushing through. Jorgamo holds. Denied in the end. Everyone's low. And Divide to clean up. Nightfall now scatters through. Jorgamo not caught. Sprayed. Transfer! Jorgamo. Oh, my. Used in this instance, already just starting to flood the way back into the site. Has to be the big moments. Demon 1, this guy is just spectacular. Full defuse, and EG, they could feel it.
Let's go!
EG are destined to get that rematch.
Where Com has a classic in hand to finish it off. And if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about EG's run throughout this, finding the wins in the most unlikely fashion, and yet looking excellent all throughout their run in Masters Tokyo. What a run.